You guys are in for a real treat today. We are talking about John Coltrane and Giant Steps. This was one of the landmark albums in jazz history. Came out in 1959, and he wrote all of the music on this album. During World War II, he enlisted in the United States Navy and played in the Navy band. He was part of the Duke Ellington Orchestra for a little while, but he got fired because he was using drugs and it was affecting his performance, and that was it. He, along with Miles Davis, became one of the pioneers of modal jazz. Modes are scales based on the different degrees of a major scale. So like a C major scale from D to D would be a D Dorian scale. We'll talk more about that. While he was in the Navy, actually, that's when he made his first recordings. And they weren't, commercially available. They're probably lost to time. But that was his first toe in the water with doing that. He got a little more religious later on in life, and he did an album called A Love Supreme. And it was dedicated to the power, glory, love, and greatness of God. And it is another groundbreaking album. I think there's only 2 tracks on the whole thing. It's an experience. You should sit down and listen to it sometime in its entirety, with nothing else going on. Like just yourself in a dark room listening to this album. It's pretty amazing. He had some kids. His son is actually named Ravi Coltrane, and he's named after Ravi Shankar, who was an Indian sitar player, also worked with the Beatles, one of the most famous musicians to come out of India. He had a very special approach to playing. He played very, very fast. You're going to see that in today's listening example. They called it sheets of sound, because that's kind of what it is. It's like these cascading, just complete, total, it's complete coverage of the whole, chordal structure. It's amazing. So Coltrane's sheets of sound. The chord changes to this piece, Giant Steps, are all based on movement by thirds. It goes B flat to D to G to B flat to E flat. They're moving by thirds, which is not normal. And it's completely original. And they call it the Coltrane changes. It's not used in any other tune, and it's not common. And it's quite difficult. He's, probably the number one tenor saxophone player to ever live. On this recording, when you listen to it, you'll hear after his solo, there's a piano solo, and he kind of steps in on top of the piano player halfway through because the piano player got lost. And when he got the chords for it, he thought it was a ballad. He thought it was a slow piece because there were so many chords. But when they turned on the tape and started recording, the recording you're going to hear is their 5th time through the tune, and the guy's still getting lost, and he was no slouch. So it's pretty amazing. This is a cool video that shows, it shows how he built the solo, and you see it all written out on music. You'll see it's pretty cool. This other interesting thing, he was made a saint in the African Orthodox Church. Saint John William Coltrane. And there actually is a church in Los Angeles, the Church of John Coltrane. And at some point, maybe you can go check it out. So here is Giant Steps.